It's the 25th of December 2025. In millions of homes across the world, people are gathering to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. That's right, it's Christmas, so... What? Merry Christmas to all of you from me and everyone else on the Flashback team. This time last year we had maybe 2,000 subscribers, but now there are nearly 350,000 of you, and that's truly mind-blowing. So thank you. And that is some cause for celebration, and since it's Christmas Day, I'll be celebrating by stuffing myself with an absolutely atrocious number of calories, carved off of turkey, stuffed into sausages, whipped through gravy, and folded into custard. That's right, we're talking about the traditional British Christmas dinner. And that means that for you American viewers, this may not be totally relatable to you, but I'll do my best to be inclusive, and it's worth it because despite its international reputation, British food, especially British Christmas food, is actually quite underrated. So, the classic Christmas dinner. Turkey, roast potatoes, pigs in blankets, Yorkshire puddings, Brussels sprouts, gravy, cauliflower cheese, delicious, classic, time-honoured, traditional. Except, actually, none of this is traditional. Most of these foods have been on our table for less than a couple of hundred years. Of course, that sounds like a lot of time, until you remember that Christians have been celebrating Christmas since the 2nd century AD, about 1,800 years ago. But there is one item on your table today which has stood the test of time, more or less unchanged, since the medieval period. But first, let's take a look at your classic traditional lunch. Our biggest offender for being non-traditional is, funnily enough, pigs in blankets. Pigs in blankets actually didn't become an accepted part of the classic meal until the 1970s with the birth of the supermarket and the rise of processed foods. This actually surprised me because sausages and bacon have been part of the British diet for thousands of years and yet hadn't come together as a named item until about 60 years ago. Anyway, next up we have turkey and potatoes. These both came from the New World, which means they didn't exist as part of the medieval diet. The first potatoes came to England in the 16th century, but they didn't become regularly eaten until the 18th century, so not traditional either. Gravy is classic and always has been, a rich deep sauce to bring the roast together, although back in the day it would have been much thinner, or it would have been a sludgier mix of meat stock, roasting juices, and breadcrumbs for thickening. That means that most of the central items on our plates are relatively new additions, enjoyed only in maybe the last 10% of all the Christmases that humans have ever celebrated. Well, that is apart from one thing, the mince pie. This hasn't actually changed much in about 500 years and has a history that stretches all the way back to pagan Rome. Perhaps these little pies are older than Christmas itself. For the Americans watching, a mince pie is essentially a pastry stuffed with mincemeat. It's not actually meat, it's a mixture of dried fruits and raisins and orange peels mixed with sugar and spices and then wrapped in a really thick, slightly firm, short crust pastry. They're sweet and have a very Christmassy flavour from all the cinnamon, nutmeg and cloves. For British viewers, seeing these appear on supermarket shelves is a surefire sign that the Xmas fever has begun, and thus inspires either joy or dread depending on the individual's disposition towards Christmas. 800 million of these are eaten per year, which averages at about 20 pies per person. By today, the 25th of December, most people would have had more than enough minced pies and will not want to ever look at one ever again. They will have forgotten this feeling by October 2026, when they will once again be flying off the shelves. They always stand the test of time, and they always have. The most recognisable mince pie that looks and tastes like this appears in about the 16th century, so about 500 years ago-ish. The flavour was a little bit different, but more or less, in broad strokes, the same. The only real difference is that they wouldn't be vegetarian. There would be some meat inside the pie, and maybe suet, which is animal fat, in the crust instead of butter. But the flavour, dried fruits, Christmas spices, and so on, was still overwhelmingly present and sweet. Yes, sweetness with meat was quite normal for a medieval palate. Some say that the unique flavour that we so often associate with Christmas, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, mace, dried fruits and oranges, dried citrus peels, actually comes from the Crusaders who brought these goods back from the Holy Land before stuffing them into the mince pies. So all of these traditional flavours that we associate with Christmas, even for you Americans too, actually starts with the minced pie. Not just a survivor, but also a trendsetter. In fact, the reason that it's called a mince pie is because it once had meat in it. If you want to make a mince pie the lazy way, you can buy the filling and then bake them at home. That filling is called mince meat, but it contains neither mince nor meat. It's just fruit, spices, and sugar. If you wanted to make it back in the day, you might refer to the 14th century text, The Form of Curry. Here we can find one of the oldest recipes for something we'd recognise as a mince pie, but at the time they were known as chewits. Here's the recipe. Take their meat of pork and carve it all to pieces, and hence therewith, and do it in a pan and fry it. And make a coffin as to a pie small and do therein. And do thereupon yolks of eggs, hard powder of ginger and salt, cover it and fry it in grease. Otherwise, bake it well and serve it forth. So it's called a chewit, but it's really looking a bit like a mince pie. It's a pastry with a meaty, sweet filling with Christmas spices like ginger and the richness coming from egg yolks instead of butter. By the Tudor period, just 150 years later, it's almost identical, and we've got the introduction of classic flavours like mace, nutmeg, clove and dried fruits. But although mince pies have changed little over time, relatively speaking, they have had an enormous influence on future Christmas tastes. They were, of course, in turn, also influenced by what came before. The idea of a pie-shaped bake with special ingredients served as parts of celebrations can be traced back to the ancient Roman celebration of Saturnalia. Some historians therefore argue that the mince pie draws its traditions from Roman pie culture. Of course, the origins are not the only controversy surrounding our humble mince pies. They had taken a quasi-religiously symbolic status at one point, with the pastry taking on the role of the manger in which Christ was born, and the spices taking the role of the three wise men with their frankincense and myrrh, and of course the eating them becoming a ritual too, not unlike bread and wine at communion. They even attracted the wrath of the Puritans under Oliver Cromwell in the 17th century, as they were seen as overly decadent indulgences which corrupted the spirits of whoever imbibed them. Mince pies, unfortunately, were one of Cromwell's many collateral damages during his war on Christmas and fun. To get a true idea of just how much this guy hated Christmas fun, when he was Lord Protectorate of England, he would send thugs round to people's houses on Christmas Day to see if anyone was preparing an extravagant meal or extra food in anticipation of guests. Those who looked like they might be guilty of planning to enjoy themselves by sharing an above-average dinner with their family had their pots thrown into the street. Try as he might though, Cromwell didn't kill Christmas, and he certainly didn't kill mince pies. Who on earth could? So, if for no other reason, eat one last minced pie this year as a chance to spite Mr. Cromwell and his hatred of fun. In the meantime, Merry Christmas. And don't forget, I'll be speaking in London on the 5th of Jan. If you're interested, there are tickets in the description below. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.